In this tutorial, I will show you how to set up the Tracer 3D visual in Power BI. The first step is to go to the Visualizations panel and select the Tracer 3D visual. When you click on it, it will add a window to the canvas which you can resize by pulling on the edges like so. We'll need to add data to the visual in order for it to display any imagery. Underneath our Fields panel, we can navigate to our mesh data and add that to the geometry field in the Visualizations panel. You can see it's generating the data and creating a 3D view. We can use the category field to add a layer of information to the visual in terms of how it color codes the objects based on its category, as an example. We can also add fields to the tooltip, which will allow us to see more information about each element when we hover over. We're able to add slicers by first clicking on the canvas, and these will allow us to filter the information that appears in the view. The slicer is empty and has no data, so we'll grab data from our Fields panel and add it to this Fields area below. This will allow us to select which type of information appears in the model. The different types of visuals respond to each other in the Power BI context. So for example, if we only wanted to see structural columns, we could filter to structural columns. Another example might be structural framing. You can see how the model regenerates and shows new data. We have several options for formatting the visual as well. So we'll make sure that we're selected on our tracer visual, and we can navigate to the Visualizations panel and the Format Visual key below. We're able to adjust the rendering mode. We can set it to be flat. And it might be difficult to see, so we'll remove the category shading and zoom in a little bit closer so we can see better what is happening. We could also set it back to shaded and soft shadows. See the difference between the different types of views. We can also change the projection to orthographic. This will look a little bit more familiar to Revit users, or any of the straight-on views that are listed within this menu. We're able to control the data style and the way that the data appears in the visual through the Data Style menu. We can change it to be faces only. Again, this is influenced by the lighting method above. We can keep it at faces and edges. We can also change the way that the data is appearing in terms of its color. So if we navigate back to Input, we're able to set up the color coding for the model by dropping a field into this Category tab. We can navigate back to the Format option and Data Style option to control better the types of coloring within the model. So each of these can be adjusted individually, or we can set up rules or use the source model information, which in this case is white. to control the visual style. Within the General tab, Power BI users will be familiar with all of the different variety of options that you have here. One useful trick is to be able to change the background color of the visual by first toggling on background as an option and then adjusting. This yellow is quite aggressive, but it shows you how easily it is to change the background. So here we have an end state for this model where we can easily filter through the different types of information being shown using our slicer, and we can adjust the visual to suit our needs under the Format panel.